Howdy guys, it's Liv here from Neighbourhood and welcome to a very spooky edition of our October HubSpot update. We're back again with a bunch of scarily great updates for you this month as HubSpot continues to revamp its platform to ensure that you can better market, sell to, and service your customers through 2021. This video will give you the treats, not tricks, on all that's new in October, following some pretty neat updates, allowing you to be ahead of the game moving forward. As well, be sure to check out our Inbound 2021 recap video, where we run through all the new features introduced at what was a great event. The link to watch will be in the description below, but for now, let's kick things off by taking a look at the public beta updates for this month. Oh, Cam. First out of the grave.
First come off the rank.
Yeah. First out of the grave is HubSpot's association improvements. Now in public beta, HubSpot gives you the flexibility to associate multiple company records with contacts, deals, and tickets. For those with professional or enterprise tiers, you now have the opportunity to create and add labels to associations and filter lists and create workflows based on the association labels. This feature has been on the down low in private beta for the last couple months, but has been introduced through some pivotal milestones to make our lives that little bit easier. But the question is, why should you really care about this update? Well, as a recap, associations mean that if we're selling a service to someone's company, we're able to associate a deal with both a person's contact record and their company record in order to keep all our interactions with them organized and connected across objects. Before, we couldn't associate someone with more than one company, but with HubSpot's recent improvements, we're now able to associate the contact with a company as well as another company that they may advise for. Now your HubSpot CRM can show you the whole story. Next in public beta is ad sequencing, where inbound meets ads. Before journey-based advertising, internet ads were often pretty intrusive and used clickbait tactics to rack those clicks up. But now, journey-based advertising eliminates the annoyance by combining paid advertising with the inbound methodology. But what is journey-based advertising? In short, it's a digital advertising strategy where you tailor your ad targeting and your ad creative to align with the buyer's journey. By meeting prospects in the right place at the right time, it turns paid ads from a disruption into a helping hand. Now, HubSpot customers can create a full journey-based advertising campaign within HubSpot using the new ad sequence tool. The new tool automates all audience targeting, so even a novice ad user can run an inbound ad. It's also loaded with automation features, and best of all, since it lives in HubSpot, users can easily access images and pages they've already created. If you're a Marketing Hub professional and enterprise, then you can start testing this out. Just remember that for those of you on a pro subscription, you have access to 5 audiences available, and for those of you with an enterprise account, you have access to 15, with the option to increase your ad limit if need be. You'd have to be a pumpkin not to get around this. There's a video in the description that demonstrates how this all works. The next public beta update in motion is the ability to import default brand colors from any website. Don't put yourself in the grave over the small stuff, especially when it comes to branding. HubSpot has made it easier to seamlessly integrate your website into the platform, making sure it looks just as good as it did before, giving you the opportunity to do a bunch more with HubSpot. Fourth on the public beta list is the introduction of a new settings page and editable field mappings for HubSpot's Shopify integration. Now, the Shopify integration features a smoother settings page, which includes editable field mappings to give you more visibility and control over your synced data. Now, you're able to utilize a home tab with a complete overview of the contacts, deals, and products being synced to HubSpot. This tab also provides ways to analyze your data, identify buying patterns, and automate campaigns with Shopify data, making the compatibility feel seamless. The new object tabs for contacts, deals, and products allow you to now create, edit, or delete field mappings for each object while being able to view your sync rules and control the way fields are being created, mapped, updated, and deleted. Lot to look forward to on the public beta front. Let's now turn to all that's live in the October cauldron. Couple words in there, it's pretty good. Let's start with the CMS. Last year, HubSpot kicked off an effort to build the next generation of HubSpot APIs. This API has been upgraded to follow the new V3 API standards. Wondering why this matters? Well, as HubSpot looks to drive towards becoming an open and thriving ecosystem, API usability has to be a part of the plan. With the release of the HubDB V3 APIs, they're continuing to make APIs easier to use and more available for the developer community. If you're looking into how this works, we've included some documentation down in the description description below for you guys to learn all about the new version of the HubDB API. Not only can customers use this to edit, update, create, and read data in integrations, but the HubDB API can also be used to fetch data to display on websites and apps. How good. The next zombie from the grave, these are live, not dead. These zombies are in beta. Now the next zombie from the grave, HubSpot has introduced rolling date range filters and fiscal year support in the custom report builder. You can now generate a report that dynamically updates based on a set period of time you select with new rolling date range features in the custom report builder. This makes it easier to select a rolling date range that corresponds with your fiscal year rather than the calendar year. If you're interested, here's a little bit more information. Rolling date filters dynamically update a report to show the time period you select, such as the current week, quarter to date, or past 30 days. Instead of manually updating the date range in the time period you'd like to report on, rolling date filters make it easy to create views that always show the most recent data. As well, you can now also apply a custom fiscal year setting to your reports in the custom report builder. This can come in handy when comparing year-over-year data and performance metrics by fiscal year. To supercharge your customized reporting, there's now an option to use fiscal year from a dates field editor and properly represent the time period unique to your company. Ghastly? Is that spooky?
Yeah.
Ghostly?
Ghastly.
Like, I'm a grandma. I would rather kill myself.
Some ghastly updates.
Reckon you need to make a cameo just to do some sound effects.
Alright, just you do it.
No. Now let's move on to some ghastly new integrations. You can now see multiple survey responses via HubSpot's SurveyMonkey integration, which populate inside contact records. Previously, when a respondent submitted multiple responses to a SurveyMonkey survey, only the most recent one would display in the HubSpot contact record. This meant that some of the historical data gathered via surveys were not available within HubSpot, leaving out important context about contacts. Now, if a respondent submits multiple responses for the same survey, you'll be able to see all the responses within their contact record. Next up, and one that we're particularly excited about as daily Slack users, you can now create contacts, companies, and deals via your HubSpot to Slack integration. With this new functionality, you can make sure important information is recorded in HubSpot without navigating away from Slack. Wondering how you can set this up? It's wickedly easy. In HubSpot, on your Connected Apps page, simply click Reconnect on HubSpot's Slack integration in order to get these new features. Inside Slack, from any channel or direct message field, click on the lightning bolt icon to open shortcuts. Click on the HubSpot app. From there, you can choose to add a contact, add a company, or add a deal. You can choose add a company and complete the information about the organization, or choose add a contact and fill out the contact details. Or you can choose to add a deal and fill out the property fields. Click save, then the integration will prompt you to add notes to the object that was just created or associate the newly created object with existing HubSpot ones. You can also select post to channel to send a message to any Slack channel about the newly created object so your teammates stay up to date. In HubSpot, you'll see that the new object has been created with any associations and notes that you added. Just remember that HubSpot Slack integration only has the property fields for new company, contact, and deal creation respectively. Oh my god, someone fix the candle, I'm scared.
I couldn't see anything, there's a camera there, I was like, what's going on?
I love me not being able to run away from this. Last up, for all that's live and kicking through the cobwebs, HubSpot has introduced the Academy app on mobile, meaning that you can learn on the go. Review lessons, watch videos, and download coursework right from the palm of your hands. People aren't glued to their desks anymore. They learn at their own convenience, wherever that may be. The mobile app is a perfect solution to these in-between moments. If you're keen to get started to access the HubSpot Academy, make sure your iOS or Android app is up to date. Then navigate to the More menu and scroll down. Here you'll see the option to access the Academy. Couple of things you can do here. Use the carousel to jump straight back into the lesson you paused earlier on desktop. Use the recommendation engine to find courses you're interested in. Tap to play videos, increase speed, or download resources. And basically just play the video and get watching. And that's a wrap for this month. We hope you enjoyed these updates and are as eager as we are to get started on implementing them today. But of course, if you need a hand ensuring you're making the most of your HubSpot investment, we're just a click away. If you need someone to tell you where your current usage in HubSpot is dragging you into the grave, what skeletons you could clean up out of your closet, and what you're not using to its maximum potential, sign up for a portal audit today. We've killed a bunch of audits recently for companies in a variety of different industries, using HubSpot to varying levels. These are completely free, so you'd be a ghoul not to. But for now, that's all from me. Happy HubSpotting and happy Halloween.